Guys, so this is pretty late, what if, but I just want to get into it. This is what if Deku was Deadpool Part 4. You guys were in the comments earlier tonight or yesterday, and pretty much asking you guys, what if that you wanted to see? My last what if Deku was Deadpool Part 3. Someone commented do a Part 4, please, and well, I'm doing it. So yeah, this is what if Deku was Deadpool Part 4. So our last look out for Deku was, really excited for, the two internships that he got from the X-Force and also from the X-Men. So Deku, last time that was like a week ago, no one really commented which should Deku go to, so I'm sure to pick Deku's gonna be going into the X-Men. So Deku goes to the X-Men Academy, and pretty much Deku is giving you the traditional red and blue, classic Jubilee style X-Men suit. But Deku, wears his normal suit underneath it. So it's kind of really hot, but Deku can't really die from a heat stroke because, he's immortal. But yeah, so Deku basically, is given a dorm. Deku shares a room with another intern that was accepted into the X-Men Academy, aka, what should we call it? I think, yeah, um, Tetsu Tetsu is Tetsu Tetsu in this universe is Colossus um Colossus's um cousin or like nephew. But yeah, Colossus is Tetsu Tetsu's uncle. So pretty much Tetsu Tetsu shares a room or a dorm with Deku on the days they're there. The days they're there. The days they're there. What? Oh, never mind, guys. So pretty much they get started, and pretty much they get trained in combat training how to harness their powers as fast as as strong as capable. Tetsu is trained how to take more blows and keep his invulnerability up longer, and pretty much over the the internship Deku sees that Tetsu gets about the same strength and endurance as actually what you call it, the same strength and endurance as pretty much Colossus. Tetsu gets about the same strength, and pretty much Tetsu has the same exact quirk as Colossus, but it's just dialed down. But now he has, the same strength levels as Colossus. He's as strong as Colossus and as invulnerable, and also he also has the longest, strength period, because Colossus, when he's in his hardening form, he doesn't need to eat, sleep, or drink to even stay alive. So Tetsu gets that ability too. Tetsu also has the ability to keep his, you know, um, mental state up for about a day, or even when he was sleeping, because Colossus can sleep and his power can still be on. So yeah, Tetsu gets pretty OP. Deku, on the other hand, he trains with his teleportation belt, harnessing how to, teleport to right places, back and forth, and pretty much having a duel with Nightcrawler teleporting all around, the danger room, and pretty much Deku trains in sword fighting with Psylocke, and pretty much trains in um, target target practice with a nut with I don't know what it Cable, yeah, Cable. In this universe, Cable is still exists. Now, in this universe, Cable hasn't met Deadpool yet because Deku's Deadpool in this universe. So pretty much Deku, starts talking about how Cable's a weirdo and how uh his eyes all jacked up. Pretty much Cable just says shut the hell up and to just do your target practice. Deku starts, shooting back and forth, going back and forth. And pretty much Deku gets a pretty good understanding of his powers now. And Deku also trains how to, regenerate fast as possible. Deku, there is Wolverine. Wolverine, trains with Deku, and Wolverine pretty much says, I knew a guy a couple years back with your abilities, but a lot more. He had some sort of laser vision, and his face was sewed up. I killed him, but, it was pretty hard. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just just look up X-Men Origins. You'll see the abomination that I'm talking about. But pretty much, yeah. So Deku pretty much starts fighting left and right with Wolverine, and pretty much he gets his arm cut off. He gets stabbed, pretty much saying that oh Poppy, and pretty much just making fun of Wolverine altogether, saying that you better get those kitchen knives out of my stomach, and pretty much just saying that he's a walking, talking Barbie doll with blades. But yeah, so pretty much Wolverine, cuts Deku to smithereens, and it takes about 5 minutes for Deku to get all of his body parts back together, but not, fully. And it takes him like a extra 5 minutes to regenerate them all back together in the right places. So pretty much, yeah, Deku gets, a okay score. Pretty much Deku says that was kind of, weird. And very much, starts, regenerating his limbs back together. So Deku trains and trains and trains, and and takes Deku a total of an hour to regenerate his whole entire body by a pile of mush, because he does, tell Sunfire to melt his body. But yeah, it takes Deku at this point. Deku's regeneration is so fast that he can regenerate his whole entire body from a liquid to a solid in about 1 hour. It normally took Deku 5 hours to regenerate his whole entire body if it was disintegrated or melted down. But yeah, so Deku trains left and right with his abilities and his strengths, and pretty much gets a pretty good understanding of his powers. So Deku and Tetsu go back to school after the internship, and before they go back to school, they go to they go into the city for a patrol. Now, last time, guys, for my What If Deku was Loki, What If, for his sponsorships, I didn't, explain per se how, pretty much how the, how the, basically, what would you call it? Oh, sorry, guys, how the patrol arc or the stand arc went. Pretty much, did Ida didn't get killed. Todoroki got there even without Deku's, help, and pretty much Todoroki, handled the whole entire situation with Endeavor on his side. So Stain was taken down, and Ida didn't suffer the same injuries that he did originally in canon, and pretty much the situation is dealt with pretty, okay. So yeah, no one really died. No one died in the What If Deku Was Loki a Stain arc, just because Deku wasn't there. But for now, Deku and Tetsu go out for patrol into the city with Cyclops and Colossus and Logan. So they go up in the city for patrol, and pretty much they get into sort of a runway or like a pass through where the pretty much the Nomus are everywhere. Pretty much, Colossus and Cyclops had to split off from each other, to try to take down the Nomus left and right. Tetsu, follows his, uncle and starts fighting side by side with him. And pretty much Deku, runs off. And pretty much seeing that Ida's not with the, pretty much, sponsorship he was supposed to be with. Deku still got that talk from Ida about the whole entire Stain talk. And pretty much Deku, it just takes a gander and just starts sprinting around the city using his teleportation belt back and forth into alleys. Eventually, he comes across Ida about to get stabbed or murked by Stain, and out of nowhere, Deku jumps in there, throws a katana right at Stain's, blade that was supposed to, stab Ida, and pretty much deflects it. Deku throws, millions of bullets, just, taking out his guns, just slinging left and right towards Stain. Now, Deku, sneakily took two of his guns and put actual bullets in them. Deku's just using his rubber bullets now, but Deku takes out his real bullets and, starts saying that you're gonna die, my fool, and pretty much starts, saying that you better get out of here with your Deadpool knockoff brand. Pretty much just making weird comments, not really making sense, but making it a little bit funny. So Deku start going, bullets to bullets, pretty much, trying to shoot Stain. Deku uses up all of his bullets and pretty much takes out his other gun with the real bullets as well, and pretty much starts shooting left and right with Deku. I mean, left and right with Stain. And Deku has, this type of gun that's loaded up. So Deku starts shooting left and right towards Stain. Stain's dodging some of the bullets, but he gets hit by twice in the shoulder by 2 bullets. He also gets glazed in the face by a bullet. He also gets glazed in the face by a bullet. Sorry guys if you didn't hear it the first time. And pretty much, Deku takes out his other katana and throws the katana straight at Stain's hand. Stain's dodges, but the katana glazes his thigh. Stain falls onto his knee, bleeding from his shoulder, and pretty much Deku runs over to him and says maximum effort and drop kicks him straight in the face, knocking him out. At this point, Stain's bleeding uncontrollably from the mouth. Stain tries to get back up, but he's in too much pain. Deku says, "That's what you get for messing with my friend." And pretty much Deku scoffs and starts, walking off in, a dancing type of matter. Pretty much, walking off in the Corvette movement. And pretty much, taunting Stain to get back up. Stain gets back up unknowingly to Deku and pretty much throws a katana right at Deku's head. Deku gets, impaled in the brain and falls onto the ground bleeding. Stain licks the blood off the ground and pretty much Deku's paralyzed. And Deku's, you know, hallucinating like, the movie Deadpool's, hallucinates when he gets stabbed in the head. But yeah, Deku pretty much, walks, starts walking up just a little bit, because he is able to regenerate from the whole entire paralyzed thing. And pretty much Deku's, I'm like, I don't even know how that works, but yeah. Deku starts walking around, woozingly, trying to rip out the katana, but the katana is way too, long and lodged into his skull and his brain, and pretty much, he can't move. Deku sees that, Stain's about to finish the job on Ida, but out of nowhere, Deku presses a button on his belt, and out of nowhere, Tetsu busts down the, busts down a wall, and busts down a brick wall in the alleyway, making the bricks land on Stain. Stain gets pushed off of Ida, and Tetsu runs towards Stain, grabbing him and busting him through another wall on the other side of the, pretty much, alley. Tetsu starts punching left and right in the Stain's stomach, knocking him out, making him bleed internally. Pretty much, knocking him out, going left and right. So Deku basically goes for, the finishing blow towards Tetsu. Tetsu goes for the finishing blow to Stain, and pretty much out of nowhere, a Nomu bird grabs Tetsu, tries to fly him away, but Tetsu is way too heavy, and the Nomu bird just rips his legs off, and, dies. And Tetsu, keeps on punching Stain left and right, and throws him on the ground while Stain's, knocked out, a bloody mess. He pretty much looks over to Deku and sees Deku, wobbling on his knees, and sees Ida slowly getting back up, pulling the katana out of Deku's head. Deku starts regenerating, moving his head left and right, and pretty much slapping his head, saying that was a doozy. And pretty much after that, some pro heroes show up. Colossus and Cyclops and Logan show up, and pretty much they put Stain in they put Stain in custody, and pretty much they say that you did a pretty good job, kids. And they have a talk by the chief of police, blah blah blah. Logan and Cyclops and Colossus say Xavier's mansion will handle the whole entire situation, blah blah blah. So Deku goes back to school after the internship, and I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. Hope you guys have a nice day. See you guys later. Bye.